Oh, tree measure
No,
forward.
I took the
All right. Yeah, you're fine.
works out.
Still fine. That's what we're here for.
Give me the high sign,
No,
Russ.
that's
You did what?
Kathy and Lenny have been complaining about it for years and years and years. Like I said, I know the ice problem because I used to see it. I used to have to park on it. So
If not, we'll swing it.
What did you need the 5-minute break?
I don't know who's doing the utility report.
yeah, so we lost it.
I don't even
We had
have
somebody take out a telephone call, wash it out.
I don't know if there is one.
Good evening. The January 27th meeting of the Milltown Borough Council will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Farkas is absent. Councilman Dixon is absent. Councilman Ligotti?
Here.
Councilman Neubauer? Here. Councilman Zambrana?
Here.
Mayor, we have 3 present and 4 with you.
Okay. Thank you. Will the clerk please read the open public meeting statement?
Let the minutes reflect that adequate notice of the holding of this regular business meeting of the Borough Council was provided by the adoption of a resolution and the posting, filing, and forwarding of a copy of the same to the official borough newspapers, Home News Tribune, and Star Ledger Publishing Companies on January 9th, 2020. Public participation in this meeting will be permitted during public hearings and after the agenda of scheduled matters has been completed.
Thank you. We will dispense with numbers 4 and 5 and go straight to the administration of the oaths. I'm going to ask the senior council person, Mr. Ligotti, to escort James Peretti in. James and his fiancée, Mariana Sullivan, and his mother, Lynn Peretti, to the podium to be sworn into office.
Right here? Come on over, Ms. Peretti. Stand right now. Please, you can put your hand on the Bible. And please repeat after me. I say your name.
I, James Purdy,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of council member.
perform all the duties as council member. So help me God.
Congratulations, Councilman. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take it.
Welcome to the podium. We're thrilled to have you up here.
Thank you very much.
So Nick will be the elder statesman over on that side, and Phil is over here in the land of no neighbors tonight, but we'll get you set next time. All right, so next we have on the agenda items for discussion. The first item is miscellaneous engineering items. Mr. McClellan?
Yes, Madam Mayor, just 2 quick items tonight. In furtherance of our report at the last meeting, the Tracy Drive improvements, our survey and base mapping are completed. We're in the process of beginning the design of the project. As you may remember, it's a partial reconstruction curb and sidewalk improvement project. The limits of that work are being determined now, so hopefully we'll have some plans for you at maybe not the next meeting, but soon thereafter. So we'll keep you posted. We want to keep you apprised of the progress so that we can try to get the project out for bid in the springtime. The only other item to report is that work continues on the Public Works site. The contractor is mobilizing to actuate the temporary traffic signal or the emergency traffic signal there. We're waiting to hear an actual date, and hopefully I'll provide it at your next meeting.
Great, thank you.
Other than that, nothing else to report.
Do we have any updates about the water tower? Timelines or when we can expect to finish the paint, or not finish, redo the painting?
We know it's been turned over to your insurance company, and I think they're working on it, regularly. I'm not sure exact status at this point. We can find out, though.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Mr. McClellan?
Mr. McClellan, the Public Works Building and Firehouse, I've been told that the target date is now the end of February. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've heard that date, too. We're waiting for confirmation. That's what that is. It may be fall into March a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is comments from the audience. If any member of the public wishes to speak on the items listed on the agenda meeting, please step forward and say your name and address for the record. These comments are limited to items discussed at the agenda meeting.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Mayor. William Olashinsky, 40 Washington Avenue. On behalf of the Milltown Democratic Organization and myself, we would like to congratulate Councilman Peretti on his appointment and swearing in tonight, and we would like to give him this small gift and wish him well for success during the rest of his term.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Any other audience comments? Seeing none, I'll close that. If there are no, I will ask the council for a motion to adjourn the agenda meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll take a few-minute recess so we can get a few more pictures, and then we'll come back in, say, 5 minutes. Welcome back. The January 27th meeting of the Borough Council will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Farkas is absent. Councilman Dixon is absent. Councilman Legati.
Here.
Councilwoman Newbauer.
Here.
Councilman Peretti.
Here.
Councilman Zambrana.
Here.
Mayor, we have 4 present.
Thank you. Will the clerk please read the open public meeting statement?
Let the minutes reflect that adequate notice of the holding of this regular business meeting of the Borough Council was provided by the adoption of a resolution and the posting, filing, and forwarding of a copy of the same to the official borough newspapers, Home News Tribune, and Star Ledger Publishing Companies on January 9, 2020. Public participation in this meeting will be permitted during public hearings and after the agenda of scheduled matters has been completed.
Thank you. Now we will stand for a moment of silence and a salute to the flag. Next on the agenda, we have minutes. What is the council's pleasure for the minutes of the January 2nd, 2020 reorganization meeting?
Move that these minutes be approved as typed.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Legati and a second
I'm sorry.
by...
Oh, wait, sorry. my
Mr.
fault.
Peretti can't second the motion.
Yeah, second.
Oh, sorry.
My fault.
We have a motion by Councilman Legati and a second by Councilwoman Newbauer to accept the minutes as typed. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Farkas is absent. Councilman Dixon is absent. Councilman Legati.
Aye.
Councilwoman Newbauer.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Abstain.
Councilman Zambrana.
Aye.
Mayor, since we need a 4th vote, would you mind voting?
I will say aye, yes. Thank
We
you.
have 4 ayes.
What is the council's pleasure for the minutes of the January 13th, 2020 Borough Council meeting?
Move that the minutes be approved as typed.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Legati and a second by Councilwoman Newbauer to accept the minutes as typed. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Farkas is absent. Councilman Dixon is absent. Councilman Legati.
Aye.
Councilwoman Newbauer.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Abstain.
Councilman Zambrana.
Aye.
And I'll vote aye too.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 4 ayes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is comments from the audience. If any member of the public wishes to speak on resolutions, please step forward and say your name and address for the record. These comments are limited to resolutions listed on the agenda. Seeing none, I will close comments from the audience and move on to the bill list. Bills and claims. Will the clerk please read the bill resolution 20-047?
Authorizing the payment of bills, claims, and statements against the Borough of Milltown in the total amount of $2,285,658.81.
You've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Make a motion that the resolution be adopted. Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Legati, second by Councilman Zambrana. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Farkas is absent. Councilman Dixon is absent. Councilman Legati.
Aye.
Councilwoman Newbauer.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Aye.
Councilman Zambrana.
Aye.
Mayor, we have 4 ayes.
So moved. The resolution is adopted. Next, we have our consent resolution. Will the clerk please read the consent resolution?
Whereas pursuant to the rules of council, the council may establish a consent agenda for any regular or special meeting, and whereas the Borough Clerk has posted a consent agenda for this meeting, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Milltown, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, that the consent agenda previously prepared by the Borough Clerk be approved without the necessity of having the individual resolutions read by the Borough Clerk.
Oh, you know what? I should have asked before that if anyone wants anything. Sorry.
That's okay.
Would anyone like any of the resolutions acted on individually? Okay, so now.
You want me to read it again?
No.
Ah.
Unless-
I can do it.
Unless you want to.
No, thank you.
Official, that's fine. Okay, so you've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
We make a motion that the resolution be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Magadi, a second by Councilwoman Newbauer, that this resolution be adopted. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Farkas is absent. Councilman Dixon is absent. Councilman Legati.
Aye.
Councilwoman Newbauer.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Aye.
Councilman Zambrana.
Aye.
Mayor, we have 4 ayes.
Thank you. So moved. The resolution is adopted. Next, we have the reports of standing committees. First, we will have the Department of Finance, Administration, and Planning, led by Councilman Phil Zambrana.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As I stated at my last meeting, our order continues to move forward with finalizing the 2018 audit, which should be, if all goes well, ready around mid-February, at which time we'll present it in an open public meeting. And that pretty much concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Department of Public Safety from Councilman Nicholas Zavadi.
No report today, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Next, we have the Department of Utilities. Council President Farkas isn't here. Does anyone else want to have any report? Okay. Next, we have the Department of Public Works and Recycling.
No report.
No report. We're moving right along. Great. Next, we have Department of Environmental Health and Social Services. Do you have anything?
I have a report.
Okay, thank you.
So the Environmental Commission met this past Wednesday, January 22nd, at which time they held their reorg meeting, where they confirmed their chairman, vice chairman, and recording secretary. There were some updates on some of the items, and I'll just go over very briefly some of the items that were on the list. Basically, the planning board master plan and the COA master list, the Our property, and the Schwinman property steering committee, and the ongoing activities at that property. The Environmental Commission welcomed a few members, new members to the committee, and as always, are looking for new members to join. If anyone would like to join, you can serve as an alternate. You don't have to come to every meeting. Volunteers are always welcome. The Environmental Commission meets on the fourth Wednesday of every month. And if anyone needs any information on how to join, you can shoot me an email, fzambrana@milltownborough.com, and I'll point you in the right direction. And that concludes my report.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay. Next, we have the Department of Recreation with Councilman James Peretti.
Thank you, Mayor. SAC reminders, if you still have not updated your SAC family account on Community Pass for authorized persons to pick up your child, children allergies, medications, emergency contacts, etc., you must do so by January 31st. Milltown SAC is in search of adult program aids. You may go online to download and complete an application and return to the Rec SAC office. Recreation. Adult yoga and volleyball is still open online for registration. You may register until classes are full or February 14th. As a reminder, when registering for any recreation or SAC program, please enter your address as it appears on your utility bill, or the system will not recognize it as a Milltown resident. Please note that recreation programs are subject to cancellation at any time by the Board of Education as school functions take precedence. We will try our best to reschedule as soon as possible. Thank you for your cooperation. Please note that the Milltown Recreation Department and Milltown Borough Pool are now accepting employment applications for the 2020 summer season. Please go online to fill one out. All summer recreation and borough pool applications are due back by March 31st, 2020. All applicants must be 15 by March 31st in order to apply. Even if you have previously worked at Milltown Summer Recreation or the Milltown Borough Pool, you must submit an employment application. This date is corrected from the previous announced date. Please join us on Friday, February 7th to celebrate Go Red for Women's Day to bring awareness to heart health in women. Stop by Borough Hall for a bagel and juice. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will move on to old business. Does any member of the council have any old business to bring before the council? Seeing none, I will close old business and move on to new business. Does any member of the council have any new business to bring before the council? Seeing none, I will close new business and move on to the audience comment portion of our meeting. The public comment portion of the meeting is to allow the public to bring comments to the council's attention. The council will respect the public's time by refraining any comment until the speaker has finished. If a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the appropriate office during regular business hours or the member of council during their allotted time meeting hours. Please state your name and address for the record when you come to the podium. Yes, sir.
We got
Been working right, too. Nice.
Cool.
Russ Einbinder, 220B South Main Street. That's in Milltown. Just want to remind everybody, I'm here. First of all, congratulations, James.
Thank you very
Thank you. More young people stepping up, the better. I love it. Well, this thing is giving us echo tonight. I have to work on that, don't we, Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir. I'll get right on it.
This Sunday, I know you're going to be there, Madam Mayor. I know you're going to be there, and a few other you folks are going to be there. But our friend, Mr. Mel, our groundhog, he's getting kind of anxious there, behind Bronson outside. He's getting a little nuts. And he's not usually that active, but right now, for some reason, this week, he must know something we don't. Maybe he thinks the spring is coming in a week instead of 6 weeks. I don't know. All I know is be there a little before 7 in the morning in the American Legion lot. Commander's not here today, Dixon, but he was supposed to talk about it. That's why I'm talking about it. Please come by, join us, listen to what Mel has to say, and some of the other crazy wranglers like me and Mr. Potter back there. And afterwards, we have lots of donuts and coffee. We got lots of cool T-shirts. We got all kinds of cool things to give away. Let's put it this way. It's becoming a really good Milltown tradition. And like I keep saying, he's been right more times than the big shot one, Puxatawny Phil, in the last 11 years we've been doing it. So the heck with those Pennsylvania Hicks, the Jersey guys, best. Good night.
What time should people be there, Russ?
I would suggest get there. We start around 10 after 7 with the ceremony, so get there a little before 7 and hear some of the crazy music and talk and meet friends, try and warm your hands up or whatever.
Okay.
And then it goes rather quickly, but it's a lot of fun. News 12 will be there. We'll have our camera there. It's one of those things where the little kids are going to make you get up anyway on a Sunday morning. It's getting the teenage kids and some of the parents to try and get up on a Sunday morning might be a little work, but we'll get it done, right, Councilman? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got it. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. Any other audience comments? Yes, sir.
Lee Weisenberger, 99 JFK Drive. Curious question. We've had numerous gas line breaks up our way past couple of years, and they're up there again now. I'm just curious, does PS&G tell the town the condition of the pipes up there or anything when this stuff happens? Does anybody get notified what's going
I'm going
on?
to have to defer to Mr. McClellan if possible.
They normally don't report to the borough and types of lines to condition their lines, no.
They don't.
Not normally, no.
There's no communication. That's
Not
strange
that
to
I'm
me.
aware of, no.
You know, can that be changed?
Is there a public utility that you could reach out to? Public utility authority to ask any questions, Mike?
Or Mr. Eckert, does he, you know?
There's a public liaison. Public Service Electric and Gas has a public liaison, so if it turns out that there's a question, that you could contact them.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that they don't communicate with the town at all.
Not that we don't have any utility rep here, but at the next meeting, we'll make sure to bring that up and ask Mr. Eckert if he's gotten any communication.
Yeah, because along that line now, the other night, they broke the main, or they broke the service connection up there too, to a house.
In that same spot that it's been?
One of the spots, yeah. And so our guys went out there. There's a cost involved. I'm just curious, does PS&G, what's the deal there? Did they reimburse us, or it's just something we absorb?
The gas line, you're saying, that are?
I don't know if it was the main or the service to the house, yeah.
When we have a water line break, though, they come out on their own behalf. There's no charge to the borough.
That's what I'm saying, it's
So-
reciprocal, I guess, yeah.
That's right. So,
Good.
I'm not suggesting that I know of any agreement to that effect.
But I'm just, once again, our guys, I guess it gets recorded, I hope, or something, that
Yeah.
there's a problem,
We'll check.
Okay, appreciate it.
Get you an answer. Thanks. Any other audience comments? Seeing none, I will close audience comments and move on to council comments. Is there anything anyone on the council would like to bring up at this time?
Madam Mayor, we'd just like to congratulate Councilman Peretti and welcome him to the council up here. I'm sure he's going to do a great job. It's nice to see some young blood up here, and I think he's got a few things he can teach us up here, so it's a warm welcome.
Thank you very much.
I agree. I'm thrilled to have you here. We're really looking forward to it. Another comment, since we didn't have a utility report tonight, I would just like to mention that we had the Utilities Committee meeting last week. See, the representatives from CME were there, the water operator, to go over the lead issue that happened. We had another failure of the lead testing at the end of the year. We were required by the DEP to have a meeting within a certain amount of time. We had to get the notice out and, excuse me, also schedule a public meeting with our certified water operator. He was only available at certain times. So the meeting occurred last Wednesday, and unfortunately, due to getting the flyer approved by the DEP and sending it out, a lot of people got their flyer the day of the meeting. We had sent out a nixle just to let people know, but I have heard that people were disappointed that they didn't get to come and ask their questions. We put the PowerPoint on the website, but I think there's still a lot of questions about what's going on or what the borough is doing. So I just wanted to let everyone know that we will be having a follow-up meeting. I don't have an exact date yet because we'll have to coordinate with the water operator, but hopefully sometime next month we will get it out, get plenty of notice so that if you have any water quality issues or any questions regarding this topic, we will have another meeting either here in Borough Hall or at the Senior Center. So we'll either send out a nixle, we'll put some information on the website. In the meantime, you can contact the utility department or Councilman Farkas, who's the chair of the utility committee, or me, and we will compile your questions and answer them as soon as possible and have a follow-up meeting. And I think that's it. So if there's nothing further, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn by Councilman Zambrana, second by Councilman Legati. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
No, I wrote it to you and then turned away almost immediately.